Hello students, welcome to Aska Online Tutors. I'm your science teacher and I have a promise to make today. I promise I'm going to make science fun and easy for you. By the end of each lesson, you will realize that the science isn't boring at all. It's actually fascinating. So let's get started. In today's lesson, we are going to explore the fascinating world of cells. We will learn what cells are, why they are called the building blocks of life, how they were discovered, and how scientists are able to see something so tiny. Before we begin, let me ask you a question. Can we build a house without bricks? Let me give you a second to think. No, right? Just like a house is made up of bricks, every living organism is made up of tiny units called the cells. That is why cells are known as the building blocks or basic structural and functional unit of life. The cells are the smallest living unit that can perform all the basic functions of life. For example, they take in food, produce energy, grow, remove waste, reproduce, and also respond to their surroundings. And why they are called the building blocks of life? It's because every living thing is made up of one or more cells. Earlier, I gave you the example of a building. The building is made up of thousands of bricks. A book is made up of many pages. A necklace is made up of many beads or pearls. Similarly, our body is made up of trillions of cells. A tree is made of millions of plant cells, and animals are also made up of different kinds of cells. In the human body, we have trillions of cells and each cell performs a different job. So when we accidentally touch a hot pan, our nerve cells quickly send a message to our brain, and this is how we remove our hand immediately. In the plants, the cells actually help plants to survive and grow. So when we water a plant, the root cells absorb the water and stem cells carry it to the leaves. Without healthy cells, the plants cannot grow. So, what does it mean? That without the cells, there would be no plants, no animals, and no humans, no life. Imagine. Now you all must be wondering that how the cells were discovered, right? Let me tell you. In 1665, there was a scientist named Robert Hooke. He was an English scientist who discovered cells through a thin slice of cork under a microscope. You all know that cork comes from the bark of a tree, right? So when he looked through the microscope, he noticed many tiny box-like compartments. These compartments reminded him of the small rooms where monks lived, and they were called cells. So he named them cells. However, the cork was actually dead, so the cells he saw were empty. Even though he discovered dead cells, Robert Hooke became the first scientist to discover and name cells, making an important contribution to biology. Let me ask you one more question. Can you guys see the cells with your naked eye? Okay, let me ask you another question. Can you see a grain of sugar? Yes, right? Can you see a strand of hair? Definitely yes. But can you see a cell? No. Why? Because they are so tiny, much smaller than what our eyes can detect. So the human eye can only see the objects that are about zero point 0.1 millimeters or 100 micrometers or larger. But the most cells are much smaller than this. Sometimes you need reading glasses, right? Similarly, to see the stars that are far, far away, scientists use a telescope. And to see the objects that are extremely small, the scientists use a microscope. Let me tell you how we can see the cells through a microscope. So this is called the eyepiece. The eyepiece is the lens at the top of the microscope, as you guys can see. We look through with our eyes, it magnifies the image formed by the objective lens, usually 10 times, making the specimen appear larger. It's just like looking through binoculars, which makes the distant object appear closer. The eyepiece helps us see the tiny cells more clearly. Then comes the objective lens. So, the objective lens, as you guys can see over here, it's located close to the specimen. They provide the main magnification of the object and come in different powers, such as 4 times, 10 times, 40 times, and 100 times. So to observe a specimen, we usually start with the lowest magnification, that is 4 times, and then move to higher magnifications for more detail. It's just like zooming in on your phone or phone's camera. The more you zoom, the more details you can see, right? Then comes the stage. It's a flat platform, as you guys can see, where the microscope slide is placed. It has clips that hold the slide in position so it doesn't move while you are observing it. Think of it as a stage or a small table that supports the specimen without or while you are examining it without moving. Then comes the slide. A slide is a thin, transparent piece of glass on which the specimen is placed. A cover slip is often placed over the specimen to keep it flat and protect both the specimen and the objective lens. So if you want to observe an onion cell, you first place a thin slice or piece of onion on the glass slide and then place it under the microscope. Okay, then comes the light. This here is the light. It's also called the illuminator or the mirror. The light source provides light that passes through the specimen, making it visible under the microscope. Some microscopes have built-in lamp, while older microscopes use mirror to reflect the light. It's just as we switch on a flashlight to see in a dark room, a microscope uses light to help us see tiny cells. Then comes the coarse focus. The coarse focus knob is a large knob used to move the stage or objective lens up and down quickly through this wheel. It helps bring the specimen into rough focus and it is mainly used when viewing under the low magnification. Then comes the fine focus. This is the fine focus. So the fine focus knob is smaller knob which is used after the core's focus. It moves the stage very slowly to sharpen the image, giving a clear and detailed view of the specimen. It is especially important when using high-power objective lens. So imagine adjusting the focus ring of a camera until the picture becomes perfectly sharp. This is how a microscope can help us observe a cell, which is a tiny building block of life. I hope you liked this lecture. In the next lecture, we will be learning about the animals and plant cells in detail. Thank you so much for watching.